finally we get down to step number 4. I take the cost to the units transferred out and I allocate the costs that I found out in step number 3, and I figured out how many units were transferred out and how many partially complete units I still have. Again, step 3 and 4 are the easiest. So here we go. So here's my production cost, okay? This was the cost that we've seen this in the very beginning, and now I'm going to take a look here. The units to be assigned, so I need to look at the units I need to assign a cost. Group 1, I need to figure out what were my total costs for group 1, my total cost for group 2, my total cost for group 3. We do know it equals 90,000. So what I'm going to take is those numbers that we calculated in group 3 and multiply them. And we're going to do each group separately. So this is only group 1. This is beginning inventory. My direct materials cost per unit was $1.10, but my EUP was 0 quantity for direct materials. So that's 0. Oh, by the way, this was my total cost on my beginning balance that was already there. Conversion cost, if you remember correctly, I had an EUP of 1,500 times that 30%, which is what we got in step 3, multiply. So my total cost of July's 1st in process inventory that moved over to the next department is 6675. So here's kind of a better chart to see how it looks, okay? So and by the way, this was just group 1. We're going to now do group 2 with these same multipliers. Let's back it up. Let me show you something. Okay, so this was my beginning inventory cost at the beginning of the month. When I'm done, my beginning inventory cost is now this. That's group 1. Okay, group 2, always 100% because I start and finish in the same month. I'm gonna break it from direct materials and conversion cost, multiply it by those multipliers in step 3, and add it together. And now finally, here's where we stand so far. Here's my group 1 cost, my group 2 cost. So let's move to group 3. Group 3 is what's left still in stock. 3,000 gallons was my EUP times my multiplier. Remember, conversion was only 750 because it was only 25% completed times my multiplier. And there's my ending cost for group number 3. So when I pull them all together, here's what I'm looking at. Here's the units, here's the dollar amounts. Okay, so this is how total manufacturing costs in July were assigned, how they were broken to group 1, group 2, group 3. Okay, well next I'm going to keep moving along and we're going to prepare the cost of production report. Okay, so now that I've got my thing, it's really just a summary of what we just did. It looks like this. I know it's kind of an eye chart, but this is kind of like what we just did, the groups 1, 2, and 3. So this is step 1 and 2, by the way. How many units to account for? What are my equivalent units of production? Then step 3 was to find my unit cost. Excuse me. And then step 4 was actually to find my apply my cost to my EUP. Okay, so this concludes the 4 steps process. On the next video, we're going to be looking at the journal entries to make all of this happen.